Welcome once again back to Relationships at Work. You are a leadership podcast helping you build workplace connection, improve culture, and avoid blind spots. I'm your host, Russel Lolacher. Happy to have you here for another solo mini episode. These are just quick, valuable bits of information to help your mindset for the week ahead. We're having a personal episode, this one. A little reflection, something I want to share that's been happening with me that I'm sure you probably could relate to. We're talking about when the work becomes work, stepping back before burnout. The last few months, I've tried something different with the podcast. I'm sure you've listened. Monday to Thursday, we broke down the episodes through particular themes, very focuses of our podcast, and then the solo episodes on Friday. So what that means is that I was doing a daily show, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, each episode being about 10 to 15 minutes, sometimes 20 minutes, depending on how it worked out with the conversations with the guest. The idea was to make it a lot more targeted, a lot more focused. We're busy people. But looking back on it, not only in how it was impacting and being received by you, also the amount of work that goes into it. I'm doing this all myself. This is not a team. I love when I get pitched podcasts and go to the Relationships at Work team. There's no team. It is me. It is solo, this guy. So I also have a full-time job. Did I mention that on top of all this? I love doing the show so much. I love being a resource for you to how we can all be better leaders. I love learning for myself. My brain is so much bigger after starting the show 3 years ago. I also love sharing my own insights. Hopefully book coming soon in the next couple of months. We'll see. But I also get to expand my own network. I get to introduce you to new brains globally across the world. Love. But I'm producing a lot. And that's not even including newsletters that I'm doing through email and LinkedIn, or social posts, or editing and production and guest maintenance. And I'm not complaining. I love every minute of it. But I'm working hard, not smart, if that makes sense. So I need to make a change. I need to sort of take a step back. I'm not quitting the show. That is not happening. Sorry, I'm not doing that. But I do need to take a minute to rethink how I can better serve you and serve myself in providing this. I talk about leadership and boundaries all the time, so I'm a bit of a hypocrite if I'm not taking my own advice and going, wait, I need to step back a bit, because burnout, I'm not feeling it, but I can see that it's there. People around me can see that it's there. I've had people go, your energy has kind of shifted. And I'm like, yeah, not in a good way either. It's because I'm doing this thing that I love on top of a job that I adore and love and invest so much of my energy into. So it's a lot of buckets, and it's preventing me from doing other things that I really want to do as well and grow in my own way. So it's the fear of burnout sneaking up on us, because it never crashes in on us like a wave. It seeps in. Like, for example, for me, it's like staring at your computer for 10 minutes before getting back into what I was reading. Like, you have these weird little pauses. You're like, oh yeah, right. Oh, what I was doing. Okay. It also feels like when I put off writing something that I'm going to send somebody, when I'm like, oh, I don't have anything to say. I don't know how to write this. When I do, I know exactly what I want to say, but I'm immediately defeatist about it. I'm immediately thinking, getting in my own way, I think is the nicest way of putting that. There's also this whole procrastination. Maybe I'll do it later. Maybe I'll batch it later. That's a nice way of me saying, I'm not going to do anything now. I'm going to do too much work later. I also, from an emotional standpoint, I'm also feeling like just on the edge of anger. Like, just, I'm feeling a little quicker to anger, frustration too, especially when I'm in conversations. I don't feel like I'm giving space as much as I should. I also don't seem to have the energy or the time to invest in all these buckets of my life. And this is a big bucket, but it is one of my many buckets. I also seem to crash in the afternoons a little easier. Naps have certainly popped in. So does any of this relatable for you? Because I feel like it is. From a lot of people that I talk to who are burning candles at both ends. Wow, the metaphors, right? They feel like they're doing a lot, but they're doing a lot of love. They're doing a lot of great work. They're doing a lot of effort. And I feel like I'm in that camp. But it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. So I have to take a pause, and I have to look at it going, Pausing isn't failure, but it feels like it, right? It feels like, well, if you were good at this, you'd just power through, right? No, pausing is leadership. Even if I'm leading just me, it is leadership. It's practicing and modeling healthy choices. It's certainly something I have to recognize for myself. It absolutely is. And it's a chance to be strategic. It's a chance to look at the workload, the expectations I have of myself, the expectations I have from you of what I'm putting out, the impact that I'm trying to provide you. Because it's not just on the business side, it's also us, human side, that I have to pay attention to. Because if I want to show up fully, consistently, intentionally, I have to take this pause, or what am I even building here, right? I don't want to get lost in the process. It's people over process, right? And yet I feel like I'm getting lost in the process. You may not notice it from the output, but it is there. And these pauses, they don't need to be dramatic. And you're probably arguing, going, you're doing a podcast about pausing, Russell. That's pretty dramatic. Yeah, okay, I get it. But I also want to show you that I'm human too, that I am also struggling with things when I'm trying to do something I know is important. It's important to me, and you've told me it's important to you. So sometimes it's stepping away from a desk, from a podcast mic. Sometimes it's deciding that good enough is actually good enough this week. Sometimes it's taking a walk. It's letting our brain breathe before hitting publish, before sending an email, before having a meeting. Sometimes it's just disappearing for a little while. The pause is where we're protecting our work so it can keep making the impact that we want it to. I'm going to let you know what I'm going to do instead for the next few weeks. But before that, I want to make sure that I share how you know burnout is coming. How you see that, and I've said on the show a lot, the canary in a coal mine, that first sign that this burnout is en route. Check your joy meter, okay? When the work you love starts feeling like an obligation more than an opportunity, that's a thing. So we have to ask ourselves questions. Curiosity, we know how important it is as leaders, and we have to turn that back on ourselves. Do I still enjoy this? If the answer becomes consistently no, you need to do some adjusting. And it might not be, everything changing. It might just be tweaks here and there. Maybe not doing all of it, maybe doing parts of it, that sort of thing. Another thing I would recommend is checking your energy and emotion. I've really had to do that. Maybe track what drains you and what fuels you. Can you delegate anything? Can you drop things? Maybe just delay the draining stuff. Maybe that's just a small step. You can't do everything. And how are you showing up with that energy when you do have it from an emotional standpoint? Is it impacting others? Any relationships around you that could be better served by you taking this pause? Because burnout will hurt your relationships. And last, it's about those relationships. I would say maybe ask those around you. I've certainly started doing that. My partner, my close friends who know me, who see me, they know how I show up, how I want to show up. And sometimes they see it before we do. So maybe invite a friend, a colleague, I don't know. Do you feel more irritable? Do you look and act more irritable? Are there signs? Are you checked out? Are you more tired than usual? They can see you. They're looking at you. They know you. Use them as a resource. Let them help you figure this all out. Burnout doesn't disappear on its own. It waits for us to either notice it or ignore it so it can get worse. Pausing is how we notice. It's how we get honest with ourselves about what's working and really what isn't. And if leadership is about building relationships, it is, by the way, spoiler alert, name of the podcast. And if it's about creating environments where people can thrive, that has to include the relationship we have with ourselves. I can't hammer home this enough on the show. The relationship we have with ourselves is the most important relationship at work we have. So when you feel the signs creeping in, that joy fading, the fuse shortening, the energy dropping, don't see the pause as weakness. See it as the practice of sustainable leadership. the step back is actually a strength. So it's time for me to take that pause. Over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to take the rest of September and a bit of October off. I'm going to be sharing some of my most popular solo episodes. These are the ones that the numbers, the metrics show that you're like, no, this has resonated with me. So I'm going to dust them off, bring them out from the raw library. We're at over 300 episodes, so there's a lot to pull from. But I want to pull the top 6 and reintroduce them to you if you haven't heard them or you haven't heard them for a while. These are mini episodes. They're under 10 minutes. But it's a nice sort of palate cleanse of reintroducing the podcast to you. So that's what I'm going to focus on as I'm taking this pause and rethinking. I would love to hear from you in how this podcast, this episode may have resonated with you, and maybe some things I can do with the podcast that I haven't been doing or could be doing better that you would like to see for the show. We've had some phenomenal guests. I've had a lot of light bulb moments that I've been able to share, but there's always something I can do better. And if I can do this with more of a brain, with more energy, with more intention to provide the best and most impact for you, that's a collaborative effort. So I look forward to hearing from you as well. So that'll do it for a little mini episode of Relationships at Work. Thank you so much for being here. I value your time immensely. And this is one more time we got to spend together. So I look forward to seeing you again very, very soon. I'm around. You can always reach out to me. hello@russellolacher.com or on social media. Relationships at Work is pretty easy to find. But yeah, let's do this again soon, shall we? Take care.